Alright, we are here on Silent Citadel, the blue map. Comparable to Rift, for those who have played there. 1 point in the middle, 4 points, roughly equidistant from that point in the middle, but offset a little bit from the direct center line. Team 1 ANS, Team 2 OSP, 3K 4v4. Got a lot of viewers in the game. Captain Chaos, Tim Frag Magnet, and Mungo Parker. Here, we've also seen Hardly before. And I think that's it. In addition to all of this, we've got special guest Beef.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Very happy to have you here.
Love this color of the map. It's such a blue map. It's so cool.
Yeah, it is, and it also makes it easy to see what ships have on them without being like too bright or too dark. It's quite handy.
So the strategy for this map, I think, is going around the flanks and maybe getting one capper vet into B. And then playing the flanks and up top. We'll see what they do.
Yep. Driving down here with the ANS team. I'm gonna introduce all these ships, and then we can get to it. Alright, dropping down with Tim Frag Magnet. He's got an Axford with 450s and a decent volume of point defense, along with a pair of beam destroyers covered in defenders.
I like that. I like this a lot.
And Captain Chaos, beam battleship with a, a VLS-1 on the one turret that can't fit a beam, and tons of stone walls. If those two stick together, they'll be safe to pretty much everything. And a Sarissa tag along.
Oh, I like the extra antenna on the bottom mount. Pretty safe mount.
Oh, nice catch. Nice catch.
That BB loses its antenna all the time.
Yeah.
It's nice to have a backup.
Yeah, it eats like 3 or 4 restores a match. Crabhat's got a 250 and 450. Okay, so one 250 cannon, one 450 cannon, and a VLS-2 on the backpack on his Axford. He's got some H2s in there and some standard 2s. Very interesting, as well as a Voxel with H3s, standard 3s, and some 250 cannons. It's a pretty well-rounded build.
Interesting missile pick. He actually went for the stock Thunderhead, it looks like. He brought 6 of them. See how those work. It's good to see some old school missiles being used.
Yeah.
Opening volley?
And he's
looks
also...
like it was early Yub-Nub?
Yeah, I see it, the Diamondbacks. Got some incoming here. I think those are going to get taken care of by Tim's team. He likes to go crazy on the PD. Maybe not. This is some bad angling.
Ooh, 2 hits on the DD.
Oh, and a third on the outer DD.
Not too bad though. A little yellow, a little red.
Alright, we don't have another volley coming out, so I'm going to go through Mungo Parker here, and then we'll be dealing with the ANS team. Got a rail ship with some guns on it and some Sarissas. Pair of fighting Voxels. And a little E-War Sprinter resistance. Okay. The OSP.
Oh, they're capping D with a cap tug.
Yeah, it's got mines on it, as well as a C-53 on the nose. So
18 cooperative mines. Pretty cool.
Ooh. Yeah, I'd like to see co-ops, because for some reason, people tend not to bring them, but I think they're extremely good.
Cooperative mines? Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I like to see them mix in with a couple sprinters, but I mean, if you're just going regular mines, it better bring the co-op.
Okay,
Another missile volley.
found the ship that's doing the missile volley. It belongs to Colt. It's a monitor cargo feeder with 1 mass driver and a bunch of MLS-2s on it. No point defense, but you know, if you can kill your opponent first, you don't need them. Ooh, somebody's gonna be going into this rock. Or oh.
Oh.
Yep, just the tail edge. Tim's managed to rotate his fleet around, and with some of those being killed, some
Oh.
gonna get through anyways.
Beam gets knocked out, but he's got one more res on board that DD. Should be able to bring that back up. That hurts though, because now it'll always be orange.
Yeah,
Can't really battle short it that much.
no. This tug gonna get killed before it can get its mines laid by Mungo Parker.
Oh, so sad. That was quick. Well,
Yeah.
basic CIC, yeah. Damn.
Yeah, just pop that sucker right out.
At least he capped D. A couple early points for them. Their first cap point too. Kind of interesting.
It's also got a reactor cooking
Are they
off.
moving for C? They're not moving for C at the moment.
Yeah, they got a pack of monitors going to. Speaking of monitors, holy monitors! Look at this team. Colt's got the missile monitor, and then these support tugs with PD on them. And then Dainchi has just nothing but monitors, plasmas, and 100 mil. And hardly, I'm guessing he has a similar build? Yeah, but he's split them up differently. 2 plasmas, 200 mils instead of 1 plasma, and like 2 dedicated plasma and 100 mil monitors, and instead of splitting the plasma and the 100 mil guns up evenly between the monitors. Interesting. So, this is a brawling OSP fleet, which is not something you see very often.
Which is kind of funny. I think these monitors altogether have more armor than the BB does. So if they are able to last against 250 fire, they might do a lot of damage. These missiles, though, trying to clean up that DD. Oof. Oh, he used a res on it too, and it gets knocked back out.
Oh man, that's painful. Ooh, there goes that reactor flash. And that's gonna roast most. Well, yeah, these are definitely toasted.
Yeah, they are.
They aren't burned to a crisp, but the plasma will finish off that burning. The armor.
And these Ocellos are what, just 450? Yeah.
Yeah,
450
pretty basic
Ocellos.
Ocellos.
Yeah. Did he bring a bullseye? He did. Okay, love it. Bullseye and a blanket. Might have put a spotlight on the other one instead of the blanket, but it works.
Yeah, I think it's going to pay off because I didn't see that much jamming out of the ANS team.
This Axford needs jamming on his DDs or something because he's just getting picked apart slowly.
Yeah, on the larger maps like Nix's Eye and Canyon, Tim's made use of his really clever map understanding to go in areas where no one else goes and to do these crazy flanks with this sort of fleet, but it doesn't really pan out on these smaller maps.
No, it's just too open. He's such a big... All these missiles.
Yeah, and with that DD being damaged...
That DD is not gonna... It makes it, but it's pretty much dead.
Yeah. Especially with the main reactor being out.
E is finally capped by the other monitors. C is capped by that tug. Early warning tug. Pretty good use of him.
A little risky, but no missile counterfire, so it's going to pay off.
One beam out on a cello. Scrapes it a little bit.
Yeah, started some fires too.
Oh, there's a rail DD up top, the longbow. Love the name.
Oh yeah, that's Mungo Parker's DD. I didn't notice the name. It's going to be getting some good bow on or near bow on shots on these Ocellos.
Yeah. The BB looks like he's trying to still figure out which way he wants to go. He sees the plasma. He knows the missiles are coming out from that rock, and he sees the Ocellos. Looks like he's gonna go push forward to the asteroid in front of him.
Yeah, I'd really like to see him loop around the backside of this asteroid, catch these monitors in the back. But that might honestly just be too slow.
It might be too slow for him to catch up to those monitors. They're already starting to pull back a little bit. No, they're just reorientating.
One of these Ocellos basically taking it out. He's out of restores. He's got 2 of the 450 cannons functioning, but everything forward of the first 4 cannon is pretty much dead. One of the drives is out as well.
Oh, the voxels up top.
Yeah, they caught him
Yeah.
out. And are getting some very good angling for that 250 fire.
Ocellos, they look tanky, but they are not.
Yeah, it's all about how you use them. Always cracks me up when I see 2 people in balanced discussion, both talking about the Ocello in opposite directions. One person saying it's a flimsy sheet of paper, and another saying that it's the most tanky thing in the universe and basically indestructible. Depends on which angle you're hitting it.
This BB finally getting some.
Oh dear.
It's getting shot at by the monitors now. They're not going to do a lot of damage fast, but when that plasma starts really kicking in, yeah.
Yeah, and they've got some really fantastic angling as well, because they're coming at it from the top.
Yeah, it's just raking down this middle of it. He hasn't lost anything though, but he's
No.
not moving either. I don't know if those are close enough to beam. They don't look close enough to beam.
Yeah, they're also facing the wrong direction. He's currently rotating his port towards that.
He wants to bow on that, but he should be moving towards him while he rotates.
Yeah, it's gonna take way too long to get angled if you just sit here.
See your mass driver hitting the Axford, moving across.
Okay, he's starting to move.
Oh, there goes the BB. Yeah, move, buddy, move, move, move.
Dragonfly, a whip, and a raider. And then a reactor in here. And that rear section taking a lot of fire. Raider goes down. Rear beam turret going to be following. Oh yeah, this thing's... The plasma's starting to add up. This thing is in a lot of trouble.
It is starting to feel the pain. See, that's one of the big issues with the BB is it's so slow that if you get spotted by something like this that can kite you, there's just almost nothing you can do unless you have 450 to fire back.
Yep.
Like, he just pretty much is gonna die for free, which is sad. He capped B, I think, but even then, he's got a beam off. He's got his rear beam, or his underneath beam shooting, but
Yeah.
doesn't have a lock.
No. Pretty bad hit. Just knocks out one thruster, looks like. Yeah.
Let's check over here.
Yeah, that battle has cooled off. Tim lost his destroyer.
Axford's backing up away from the Ocello 450 fire if Ocello's not chasing. How are the missiles doing? He is out of missiles?
Really? Oh, wow.
Wow.
That seems kind of underwhelming.
Seems kind of scary now. He's got voxels moving up above him.
Yeah.
They're kind of just holding behind the rock. Which, I mean...
At this point, they're ahead on cap, so exerting that pressure might be more useful than just diving in, especially with the Axford player having to back up and do some repairs. Meanwhile, this battleship desperately is trying to get close and getting even more pain for his troubles.
So, the BB did actually get attention of both monitors now. So, I mean, he's distracting them. I don't think the voxels, though, can make a play to take out these ships behind this asteroid though fast enough. Actually, he might be able to. If he flies over now and is able to kill both the Celos, I think he can kill this mass drive monitor pretty fast.
And that looks to be what he's doing. He's fighting, although he appears to be rotating back towards the asteroid instead of just driving in.
Yeah. Because this BB is going to take another... Well, actually, maybe not. He's pretty roasted right now.
Yeah.
No. Damn.
Yeah, dude looks about like Thanksgiving dinner when cooked by someone who doesn't know what they're doing.
Right? Left in the oven for another 2 additional hours. He is toasty.
Is the turkey supposed to be black and kind of ashy? Oh, Mom.
And there it goes. The bells.
Yep.
Now, let's see if these monitors are paying attention and notice that he is now dead and they stop, or they're just going to keep farming.
Yeah, that's a tricky one. Especially when you're coming from the OSP perspective, because you know how strong and dominating and dangerous a beam battleship can be. So you really, really, really want to make sure.
The
And
best part to know is if it blows up, you're like, good, it's not coming back.
yeah, no doubt.
Seen too many BBs zombie back to life. You're like, he was dead.
So you had all your components were destroyed. You weren't shooting anything. You were just sitting there, and now you're here and you have 3 guns in my face. What is happening?
Okay, so they're noticing. Yeah, good. They saw the life pods come out. They're like, okay, he's done. Voxel's made a move. No, this is the other Voxel. This is Crab Hat's Voxel doing something.
Yeah, the Voxels have been sitting back here and just kind of firing long range at the Ocellos, although they've been firing at the one that is already basically dead, unfortunately. So a lot of that damage wasted.
Looks like he switched targets.
Yeah, just now. But he's given the secondary Ocello enough time to get a bow tank angle going.
And now the monitors are going to focus the Axford. He needs to move. He needs to go fast. He needs to get cover away from those monitors or they're going to rip him up from the rear.
Yes, he does.
There already goes one reactor.
I don't think he's going to have enough time to get around this asteroid.
He's not. His dragonfly's already on fire.
Oh, there goes the BV.
Were those monitors in the bloom? They were. That hurts.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Nice. Toasty, toasty monitor.
Oh, he's actually able to launch missiles. I thought he lost his launcher. I guess not. And the Junkers are going into a rock. That's...
Yeah. Probably just track fired one of them.
Oh, one's tracking. Oh, flak. Yeah, you're not getting through that.
Well, these folks have paid their PD tax. A little light overall, but have enough to handle small missile volleys.
One Ocello is actually down. Yeah, he's not focusing fire. He must have heard the siren. Oh, now he's firing on the Axford. That's going to help so much with the 450 coming in. For OSP side.
Right, obviously. Yeah, it's kind of...
Yeah, it's horrible news for the Axford.
Oh, gee, Bobby, we can repair the power conduit now that the OSP has kindly delivered us a 450 shell directly into the compartment.
Captain Chaos is down
13.
BB.
Yep.
Yeah. Lost his frigate. What was his frigate? A PD boat?
Yeah, it was a
I
little
lo-
Sarissa.
I love that. I actually I have a couple of those in a build, but yeah, doesn't help against plasma and 100.
No, you can't Sarissa those out of the sky. Mazur!
Do you remember when I believe Mazer was like, you can shoot down rails
Oh, yeah.
with PD. Oh, that was so bad. PD
I've
was
made a
never
huge
done.
mistake.
You would have AMs going off for the rail shots. It was like, what is this? Uh, so glad that didn't happen.
Yeah. Yeah, that got rolled back pretty fast.
He was only a week or two out, and he's like, oh, this doesn't work.
This Sullivan Monitor team is certainly getting blasted, but the real danger is out of this double monitor pack from Daiichi and Hardley. It's so dangerous, especially now that they've met up and can concentrate their fire. I think they can just rip ships apart in no time flat, especially since this Axford has been toasted to piece. Tim's Axford, Crab Hat's Axford has taken a fair amount of damage and a little bit of plasma scoring on the starboard side. And those voxels are in pretty good condition. Okay, and then they're bow-oning the plasma, so they'll be a little more survivable than if they were getting flanked. But I don't think the ANS team has enough mass to win this militarily. They are up on points and they're up on caps. And these monitors don't seem to be that interested in capping. Oh, one has maybe broken off and is headed for Bravo? Yeah.
Yeah. The wonky is going to do work. Oh no. What is that? A beam? Oh, the beam DD. I'm surprised it lived that long. I thought it was a longbow. I got kind of scared for a second. Or is the longbow? Oh, no, the longbow's still alive. It has got decent shots on the monitors if you can get tracks. It's like,
Yeah, I think he's going to have trouble getting a good angle. Well, as they unmask from this rock, it'll be good. There we go. Yep.
so this Axford needs to post up here and start shooting at those monitors as fast as he can. He's shooting at a tug, which isn't worth it. The tug's got nothing on to see him.
Yeah, and the 450 is going to be punching right through.
Surprisingly, these voxels have been taking fire for a couple of seconds, and they're not looking too bad. They're very, very fast if you had them in orbit command. Looks like he's doing something with them, though.
Yeah, I think he might have actually just switched them to orbit command.
Well, yeah, one of those monitors is pretty much done. He needs to change fire. He's just waiting for a bell, I think. That's one thing I think some people need to pick up on as well, is when to change fire on something that's shooting you and something that's not. I mean, you're not going to be able to knock him out right away. Oh, it's actually got basic CIC. Yeah.
Do these have basic CICs? Oh, that's fucking risky.
It's risky, but bow on. They can't.
That's
250 can't really
true.
pin that far in.
And with how the... I think it looks like the basic CIC's up in the... Where is this? Yeah, it's just at the base of the conning tower. So that's a very good point. With how thick the monitor armor is.
But come on, I'm just waiting for this Axford, and he's hesitant. I'm not sure what he's focusing a tug for.
He's
Really doesn't want him to cap, but still, bud. There's bigger fish to fry at the moment, and the CL is starting to take a lot of damage now. Yeah, that plasma's starting to kick in.
and Crab Hat's Axford is getting hit by the second monitor group. and that's going to be finished off pretty quickly. Yeah,
Oh,
back to
there's
what you were
just one.
saying about switch and fire. I agree. Like it's something really important. You can't always full kill what you're shooting at. You really need to just be getting guns off the field as fast as possible.
Yeah, you fire a couple volleys, you see your rounds hit. You know the hull that you're hitting. You're like, okay, I can switch off and shoot something else now. And you can always come back to it, but
Right.
maybe you did enough damage to it where you don't need to.
Right.
Yeah.
There's always cleanup later when you're not being shot at as much. I think that's especially strong for the ANS side of things because OSP tends to have fewer restore teams per ship since their hulls are cheaper.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, that Vauxhall. I love the Vauxhall. Such a cool looking ship.
Yeah. Easily my first favorite ship of this game as well. You just look at it and you're like, damn, that looks good.
That looks like a spaceship. It does. Oh, Tim, just go around the rock a little bit. Shoot above you.
Yeah, dude's got tunnel vision on that
He really wants to kill
tug.
that tug, and that tug does not care.
And it's just missing everything. I think that he thinks that this is a scout tug with a bullseye on it, but it's
Something.
not. Which is a fair assumption because oftentimes
The
tugs are
tug
used
he
for that.
needs to kill is right underneath.
Oh god, yeah, I see
Oh,
it, I see it. Yeah, that's the actual bullseye tug. It looks like, oh, he has some side guns. Okay, he has some smaller guns putting, or maybe one smaller gun? Putting some RPF rounds into that tug. But it needs to die, because if he gets pushed back off this point, it's going to be able to cap, and they really, really need to hold on to this point.
wow. The monitors now have been like, oh, you're still here.
There's another big ship to Plasma. Screw shooting at these voxels.
And they are quick to just gut him
Yeah,
so fast.
yeah, because this got roasted by a reactor bloom earlier. Not completely roasted, but damaged enough that just one volley of plasma is able to rip through the rest of the way. Monitor the Rash Wonky migrated all the way over here from Bravo. He's ready to cap in case the EWR tug gets downed.
I think that EW tug is just fine now. He's
Yeah, it is just fine, isn't it? One little Mark 62 firing out RPF just isn't enough. Damage the berthing, damage the RDC, but everything's more or less fine in here.
didn't even lose a thruster.
Oh, that's painful.
Oh, well, reactor plume on Reigns.
Yeah, the Sarissa Reigns. And the secondary Axford out of Crab Hat's getting cleaned up over here by this monitor team. Rendered combat ineffectual already, but they're currently going for a kill. Which I don't think is a terrible waste of their time. I mean, it is a waste of their time, but it's not the end of the world since the ANS team is pretty broken
We're,
at this point.
there's not really much to shoot at now. Actually, he's doing his job. Finishing off that Axford is.
It's true.
I mean, you don't want him to zombie back. I don't think he's zombie anytime soon. But yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Just
there
making
goes.
sure. A little peace of mind coming with making sure that's out of the fight. Mungo doing a bit of a flank maneuver here with this voxel. Getting it behind these monitors.
That's a sick move. I wish he still had both of them. He still has.
He did well.
Yeah,
Um,
it's down to one.
God damn, that is a sick play.
Oh no, they have turrets.
But yeah, here's the small problem with that. Fortunately, well, yeah, they are 100 mils, but 100 mils, if he's firing AP, we'll be able to pin through this port side here. Or where's the top of this thing? Yeah, port side. Deal damage to the compartments below. It's also got a missile magazine that's cooking off. I don't think he sees it. Okay, this thing just got on it. Could be catastrophic. Whoa.
One of the beam DDs. It
Yeah.
took a while.
It took a long while. It's like 5 or 6 minutes.
Been cooking there for a while.
The teensiest, tiniest reactor leak.
Still see a rail coming in every now and then.
Yeah.
I don't know about one rail DD. It doesn't do enough damage. I don't think. Like it's just there to poke you.
Well, so what I've discovered on the rail front is you kind of need a critical mass of them. You need enough guns on the field so that you can overwhelm an opposing force's DC teams with criticals. And just one doesn't deliver those fast enough. It'll put a critical on a couple components, but the DC teams will be in right behind and cleaning them up. Obviously, it wastes their time, but it's just not enough. But if you can get, like, 4 or 5 mass drivers, or linear railguns, as they're now called, landing on one target at once, it will just, it'll, like, you could actually kill it with just rails. It'll take a long time, but the fires and the criticals overwhelm the DC teams to the point where that ship is soft crowd controlled.
Yeah, a couple 450s would clean it up, or 250.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's this voxel. Loving the play. Go underneath them, staying away from their plasma, making these freighters actually, or cargo feeders, work for it.
Yeah. Yeah, forcing them to be maneuverable, and they very much aren't. I really like seeing this play out of Mungo Parker because the first couple games I saw him in clever positioning was actually his biggest weakness. He could get around and shoot at things. He was there, he participated, which is a lot more than you can say for some folks, but he was never doing this sort of thing. And this just really high maneuverability play, oh man. Love to see it. Love to see it.
It is a great play. I mean, if he had a second voxel or an Axford helping him out, these would be so dead.
Did you see that rail shot?
I saw a glimpse of it go right through that monitor.
Oh, yep. Through one monitor and into another one. He did another one. We'll get a couple more of these. That would be a phenomenal screenshot.
Line them up and hit all 3 with one round. I don't know if he could go through all 3, but still.
Come on, I want to see another through and through.
Oh, he's actually... What is he aiming at?
He's repositioning it. Oh, no. He looks like he's aiming at the other monitor team. But I don't think that's going to help that much.
OSP, 5 cap in the ANS.
Yeah.
And I think that is... GG. Well fought against ANS. I mean... Both teams had tools to do a good fight, and OSP just executed it way better.
Yeah, I think the battleship off on its own, getting devoured by that monitor team, is really what won it for them.
Yeah, hard to say if he should have held back somewhere around D for this push, but this push is very late into the game too, so... Beam BBs, hard to play right now. They're in a hard state.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's kind of funny to say that because a player we've seen a lot on this channel is Grenade, who plays Beam Battleship. That is all he plays basically. If you've seen him play any OSP ships, like a pair of Ocello 450s, he play those like Beam Battleships because that's what the man knows, and he's very good at it. So we can see some good BB play, and have seen a lot of good Beam B. Too many B's in that word. Play. And he makes it look kind of easy, but it really isn't. It's so much more than just put the engines on flank, point your bow towards the enemy, and fire your lasers when you're in range. It's very tactical.
Patience. Yeah, I mean, you just gotta. You're an ambusher. You have to wait. And your team has to realize what you do and bring, ships to you. It's You're having a bad day in your voxels. Run towards the beam BB. He will clean them up or scare them away. Oh, that was a sick rail shot. He's back on the monitors now.
Yeah, man, I wish I was recording. I played a game with Grenade last night after you got off, and it was Grenade and Osprey. I think I told you a little bit about it. And they were both playing battleships. And he used the gun battleship to bait ships to come at him and shoot him and try to kill him before, to get in close to deal damage with their close range weapons. And then the Beam BB just snaked him, just jumped out from behind a rock and blasted everything with lasers.
That's how you do it. This sounds like a really good game to watch. Playing. Man, this voxel's doing work on these.
Yeah, I can't believe it's still alive. They're just turning and turning and turning and forcing those 100 mils to fire without any support, damage, or armor rip from the plasma. It's actually been incredible.
Great game to watch. OSP
Agreed.
taking the win. 1,000 points.
Yeah, let's get through this AAR. We got winning team first. Colt and one of the one monitor, tug centric support and missile team doing 10k damage with those missiles. Decent, but he's a little more patient. I think he could have gotten a lot more damage down the field. Although getting that upfront damage on the Axford is really helpful.
Yeah, he really actually basically killed both those beam DDs. They didn't have any more
Yes.
reses, so that helped.
That's a really good catch. I think if those beam TDs could have gotten on those Ocellos, it would have been a very different game. Yeah, Daiichi and Hardley both just dishing out hilarious amounts of damage. I mean, this might be more than 40,000 out of Daiichi just
So
shooting.
much damage.
Just shooting. Just kind of flying around and shooting things.
Oh, piece
Goodness.
of candy. Piece
Yeah.
of candy.
Ooh, a piece of battleship.
Ocellos didn't actually do too hot. I mean, they took damage. I guess if you're a sponge, they did great.
Yeah, they just sort of got schwacked by the Voxel and Axford double whammy at Mungo Parker and Tim.
Great play by Parker. I mean, those voxels.
Yeah, MVP of the ANS team, no doubt, and certainly the most impressive player this match. And these Voxels got out a ton of damage too, over 40,000 just the Voxels. Plus the rail ship, man, almost 4k out of the rail ship. How many lands did you get? 112? Nice. Very nice. Some of those, of course, were double hits, although that probably gets counted there, since surely more than 2 rounds went into the space. Yeah, Tim's kind of ambushy play, not working without the E-War support on the small open map.
Yeah, if he had blankets, I think he would have been able to. Well, with those missiles, I don't know. He would have. Hard.
Yeah. course, depends on what kind of missiles those missiles were. He might have been able to just jam them. Let's take a look. They were ARAD command, so no. That's why I did. ARAD command? That's why you don't have any. That's why you don't have many of those. That cannot be a cheap missile. All right, I think that's the ball
it.
game. Thank you, Beef, very much for coming to this.
Thank you for having me. It was fun.
Yeah, and I think we're gonna do another one after.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, cool. So that's the end of this video. If you want to know, well, I guess we didn't have any yammering from the boys this time out, but if you want to know how I'm familiar with all these players, it's because I have a Discord. The link is down in the description. It's for, well, it's for a lot of things. It's for hanging out and chatting and sharing build ideas and a lot of goofing off, really. But it's also for putting these games together. I'll post up in there when I'm hosting, and it gathers attention. It fills up lobbies really fast, actually, since we can actually ping each other. Unlike the official Discord LFG, which is a really good tool, but obviously you don't want to have people pinging 4, 5, 6,000 people. Hey, I'm looking for a game. Anyways, if you are interested in that sort of thing, link is down in the description, and I will see you in the battle space. Good night.